Hi, I'm Kira K. Dixon, and today Caitlin Clark is under the umbrellas. Welcome, Caitlin.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, I heard that it's your first time at Augusta National. So what are the impressions so far?
Oh gosh, I mean, like, this is a place that's on literally everyone's bucket list.
She wasn't swinging a club, she wasn't chasing records, but somehow Caitlin Clark just became the most talked about person at Augusta National. The cameras were supposed to be locked on Tiger, on Rahm, on golf's elite. Instead, they turned fast to a basketball phenom who had no business stealing the spotlight at the Masters, and yet couldn't help but do just that. Fresh off a history-making season, Clark didn't roll into Augusta for attention. She came for silence, for space, and maybe for the first time in her career, she came without a plan, but what unfolded was anything but ordinary. Fans expected her to blend in. She did the opposite. She lit up the course without ever taking a swing. In a place where tradition is everything, Caitlin's presence was a curveball nobody saw coming. She wasn't there to play. She was there to breathe, to joke, to open up. And in doing that, she gave the sports world something rare. An unscripted, unfiltered look at a superstar who's still figuring herself out. But listen to this, because what she revealed next, that's when things got really interesting. So why was Caitlin Clark even there?
You see it on TV, but when you actually get here, it's a completely different experience. So beautiful. Like, wherever you look, it's like a postcard. It's amazing.
No press conference, no brand rollout, no carefully planned PR stunt. Just Caitlin walking the hallowed hills of Augusta, wide-eyed like every other fan. Except she's not like every other fan, not even close. This wasn't just a casual off-season pit stop, it was a full reset. After months of pressure, packed arenas, and media chaos, Caitlin was chasing something most elite athletes don't talk about: stillness. And Augusta, with its strict no-phone policy and sacred silence, gave her exactly that.
I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do the next day. So maybe play some golf. I think that's what I'm gonna do until it gets too cold in Indiana. So I got that. I'll become a professional golfer.
She came with her family, no entourage, no handlers, just her dad and brother, who were so excited they showed up when the gates opened hours before anyone teed off.
So your family is here with you. They're just off camera.
Yeah, I mean, this is at the top of their bucket list too. Like, they can't get enough of it. I slept in today. My brother and my dad were here right when the gates opened. They were walking around.
But that peaceful energy, it didn't last long, because what started as a quiet getaway turned into a viral moment the second Caitlin cracked a joke, and the internet standing in front of the camera, smiling like she'd just found a secret, she casually dropped a line that sent fans into a frenzy. Walking Augusta, that's my preseason workout.
And I think the one thing that you can't tell on TV is the hills. Like, you can't really prepare for that. My legs were a little sore yesterday, but I mean, it's just unreal. It's perfect,
That's
honestly.
your preseason workout.
Yes, exactly. Getting my legs back in shape.
There you go. Yeah, what did you do? I walked the golf course.
Yeah, that's how I got back in shape.
Just like that, the calm was gone, and the internet lit up. People were calling her the Steph Curry of Augusta, joking that she was training for a dual career. ESPN ran the clip, sports pages reshared it like wildfire. Caitlin wasn't just being funny, she was letting us in. For once, she wasn't the competitor with tunnel vision. She was just a young woman trying to enjoy her time off, walking a golf course with sore legs and a sense of humor. And fans couldn't get enough. But that's not all, because the next story she shared pulled back the curtain even further, all the way back to where this golf obsession really began. Before the cameras, before the records, before she became a name the whole country knew.
How did you get into the game of golf?
So I remember I was pretty young, and like, I loved every sport. My parents like,
You're a little athletic.
I wanted to try whatever I could. And I remember on one of my birthdays, I forget how old I was turning, but I was pretty young. I got my first set of golf clubs, and they were like bright pink, like the kid golf clubs.
She didn't grow up at private courses or country clubs. She just loved being outside, competing, learning something new. And on one birthday, years before the spotlight found her, she got her first set of junior clubs. Bright pink, tiny grips, completely mismatched to her basketball dreams, but unforgettable.
I would always beg my dad to like take me and go golfing. I just really enjoyed it. I loved being outside. You know, I wasn't obviously very good. I still am a hack.
Even now, she admits she's average at best. But that's not the point. Golf wasn't about being great. It was about learning how to fail quietly and try again, over and over. But the real surprise, that quiet little sport she loved as a kid ended up teaching her how to survive the loudest moments of her life.
It's like a battle with yourself. Like, it's an individual sport. It's so different than basketball or the other sports that I played growing up. So I think it makes you have this mental toughness about you.
She wasn't playing, she wasn't performing, but she felt it. The nerves, the tension, that strange buzz in the air when greatness is everywhere and all eyes are on the green. She said it herself. I was more nervous there than I get during basketball games. Why? Because there's nowhere to hide at Augusta. No benches, no subs, no noise to drown things out. You're fully exposed whether you're swinging a club or just watching someone else do it. And that pressure, it snuck up on her, even as a spectator.
Oh gosh, I've never been so nervous in my life.
That's saying a lot, too.
I know,
Oh my
I don't get
gosh.
nervous for basketball, but that's maybe because, like, you know, I know I'm actually okay at that. I'm decent at that.
You're pretty good, yeah.
Golf, you never know what might happen.
She laughed about it later, how the fans are so close, how the silence is so loud. She even joked about nearly killing someone with a rogue tee shot earlier in the week.
Never know what might happen. I about killed somebody on like the 6th tee, but you know, it's really fun.
But behind the humor was a real moment of vulnerability. Even Caitlin, cool, clutch, unshakable on the court, gets rattled by the unknown. And that's what makes her so relatable. Because what she said next wasn't about golf or basketball. It was about life.
Yeah, I mean, I got into it at a young age and I've really always just loved it. And I'm very average at it, but it's so hard. Like everybody's mostly pretty average.
She didn't sugarcoat it. Golf is hard, Caitlin said, really hard. But that's exactly why she loves it. For someone who thrives under pressure, golf is the one place where the pressure turns inward. There's no clock, no coach, no teammates, just you and the next shot, and every mistake lingers a little longer.
It's you, the golf ball, the golf club, like the course, like that's all it is. You know, you don't have teammates to rely on. It's just a battle with yourself.
But Caitlin sees that as the gift. She compared it to basketball in a way only someone who lives both games could. You miss a shot, you don't have time to sulk. Same goes in golf. Hit it into the trees, tough.
These professional golfers out here, like you hit a bad shot, you don't have time to sulk, like you got to move on. And it is similar to basketball in the same way. Like you miss a shot, you got to move on. But you know, they're the one that has to step up and take the next shot. They don't have other teammates to rely on. So I think that's what's really impressive about it too.
She even brought up Steph Curry, how after a brutal playoff loss, Steph skipped the gym and went straight to the driving range. Just him, his clubs, and a few hundred golf balls to pound the frustration away. The next night, he dropped 45 points.
I think one of my favorite stories is when Steph Curry, I think it was the playoffs, and I think it was the finals, they had just lost and he didn't play very well. And the next day they had off and he didn't want to go to the gym, he wanted to go to the golf course and just hit balls. And then the next day he came out and had like 45 points and shot really well.
That's what golf gives athletes like Caitlin. It's not just an escape, it's therapy, a way to process the pressure without saying a word.
Understanding how much I enjoy it and how peaceful it is, it's like such a nice way to get away from basketball and what your reality is every single day, and just to do something where you can like calm your mind and be away from people and be outside.
But the part that hit hardest, when she brought up Michael Jordan, the man who'd play 18 holes, throw on his jersey and drop 35 like it was nothing. Caitlin said, I could never do that, but I get why he did.
I know MJ is really competitive with it. The stories about MJ are crazy. Like he would go play 18 and then show up to the game and drop 35. I could never do that. Like that's a different breed.
Because for them, golf isn't downtime. It's training for the mind, the nerves, and everything in between. But what happened next wasn't just about training. It was about being embraced by a whole new world.
Ellie and Annika were both tremendous and they're so easygoing and, you know, two of the best female golfers of all time. So how cool is that I get to say I played 9 holes with each of them.
She didn't just walk the course with fans, she teed off with legends. At one point during her offseason, Caitlin Clark found herself standing beside Nelly Korda and Annika Sorenstam, two of the greatest women to ever touch a golf club. And Caitlin, she was shaking, not metaphorically, literally. She flat out admitted it. I've never been so nervous in my life. And remember, this is the same woman who hits logo threes like it's warm-ups. But when it came to standing on that tee box with pros watching, her hands weren't steady.
Yeah. It's almost like a mental exercise.
It is. It really makes you mentally tough.
Caitlin Clark has officially become the WNBA's unofficial golf ambassador. She's already got teammates asking questions, half joking, half serious. She's not laughing at them, she's inviting them in, offering tips, plotting casual team outings, hunting for public courses where no one will judge them for chunking shots or taking 3 tries to get out of a bunker. Now she's texting teammates like Christy and Lexi, trying to get them on the course. Not to impress anyone, just to have fun, just to bond.
I'm giving some of my teammates a few lessons. I don't know if they actually want lessons from me, but I'm gonna try to help them the best I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, they want to go out and play, so we're gonna find some courses in Indianapolis and get out there.
She said it best. It's the perfect way to spend time with people you love. It's not about swings, it's about space. In a league that rarely slows down, Caitlin's building a quiet kind of culture where mental health, friendship, and freedom exist beyond the hardwood, but she's still got that competitive edge, especially when it comes to shopping. If you think Caitlin Clark gets excited about hitting shots, you should see her talk about Augusta merch. Forget the clubs. This girl came with a game plan for the gift shop.
I've been seeing a lot. I've been watching like TikTok hauls of like what people buy so I can be prepared of what I want to get.
She watched TikTok hauls ahead of time, studied what to buy, and came prepared to drop cash like it was a championship bonus.
I'll get some hats, get some nice golf gear. Because it's exclusive, you can only get it here.
Coffee mugs? Absolutely. She's a self-declared caffeine queen. Exclusive hats. She's already got a list. Golf polos for Christmas gifts.
Probably get some coffee mugs. My brother said the coffee mugs were going off I'm a big coffee person, so get some coffee mugs.
Her brother beat her to the tent and probably maxed out a card, but Caitlin wasn't mad.
My brother's already gone. He spent a bunch of money, I'm sure.
For her, this wasn't about collecting stuff. It was about soaking in everything. The food, the views, the ridiculous energy of being somewhere that just feels magical. And like everything she does, she went all in. No halfway, no just browsing. Caitlin came to experience Augusta with both feet, a full stomach, and a shopping bag. But what she said at the end, that's when everything clicked.
How would you define the magic of Augusta National and the Masters tournament?
I think it's one of the most magical places I've ever been in my life, honestly. Like, I think it's that special.
She called Augusta one of the most magical places she's ever been, and she meant it. Not because of who she was there with, but because of how it made her feel. Present, small in the best way, humbled by the silence, and awed by the setting.
This whole course, this entire area, like, it just puts into perspective how special this place really is. So it's been a magical few days for me and my family, so we've had a great time.
She said walking the course felt different. Watching the pros up close felt different. Even the no phone policy hit her hard. Everyone's actually locked in, she said. You're living in the moment.
It's just so different than everything else. There's really just nothing like this. And I think honestly the aspect of like not having your phone is so unique. Like you can tell everybody is so invested and they're really just there to watch the greatness of the athletes.
And for someone whose entire life is scheduled down to the second, that moment mattered. She wasn't just watching greatness, she was surrounded by it. And for once, she didn't have to carry it. When she left Augusta, Caitlin Clark didn't leave with a trophy, but she left with something even rarer, a reminder that greatness isn't just about performance. Sometimes it's about knowing when to slow down and realizing that being fully present is its own kind of win. Because whether she's draining threes or slicing tee shots, Caitlin Clark isn't just building a legacy, she's building something bigger. A culture where excellence doesn't need a scoreboard to shine. Let us know in the comments if you'd like to see Caitlin Clark play golf in a celebrity series. If you're excited for the upcoming WNBA season, leave a like and subscribe.